Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived an old lady with silver hair and a face full of gentle wrinkles and eyes bright with kindness. Everyone in the village loved her because she was always content and grateful, even when life was hard. She lived alone in a little house near the big banyan tree. She had no children and her husband had passed away many years ago, yet she never complained. She would sit under the tree, speak kindly to people, and always smile with Shukr in her heart. In that village, people worked hard. Some were farmers, some were carpenters, and others worked in the small market. Sometimes the rain didn't come and the crops dried up. Sometimes people fell ill and couldn't go to work. Life was not easy and many villagers were often sad or worried. One day, a young Muslim woman named Saira came to the old lady. Saira was crying, her face full of worry. She said, "I don't know what to do. My husband has gone to the city to find work, but he has not sent any money. My children are hungry and I am scared." The old lady looked at Saira and smiled softly. "Sit down, my child," she said. "Tell me, what do you think will happen?" Saira wiped her tears and said, "I'm afraid bad things will happen. What if my husband cannot find work? What if he forgets about us?" The old lady shook her head gently. When we fill our minds with negative thoughts, our hearts feel heavier. But when we choose hopeful thoughts, make dua to Allah and trust His plan, we feel lighter and often good doors open. Saira asked, "How can I think good thoughts when everything feels so hard?" The old lady smiled again. "Let me tell you a story," she began. "Once there was a poor man who had nothing. No food, no money, no family. He sat by the river crying. An old woman came to him and asked, 'Why are you crying?' He said, 'I have nothing. How can I be at peace?' She replied, 'Look around, the river, the trees, the sun. There is life and mercy everywhere. If you only think about what you don't have, you will remain sad. But if you notice what Allah has already given, your heart finds sakinah, peace.'" The man listened and slowly stopped crying. He began to see the good around him, made shukr to Allah, and from that day, his life began to change. The old lady looked at Saira and said, "You see, my dear, the man's life didn't change because of magic. It changed because he changed his thinking, turned to Allah with dua, and faced his tests with tawakkul, trust in Allah. When we think positively, make sincere effort, and rely on Allah, our hearts feel lighter and we handle problems better." Saira thought and asked, "Will my thinking and dua really change my life?" She nodded gently. "Yes. Wake up each morning and say, 'Today will be a good day, inshallah.' Make dua to Allah for strength to work, to care for your children, and to wait for your husband with hope. If we only think of what might go wrong, we feel weak. But with good thoughts, effort, and dua, Allah opens ways we didn't expect." Saira nodded slowly. "I understand. I will try to think good thoughts and pray to Allah from now on." "That's the first step, my child," she said. Saira left the old lady's home with a lighter heart. Every day she remembered her advice. Each morning she said, "Today will be a good day, inshallah." She worked hard, took care of her children, and prayed to Allah for her husband's safe return and halal provision. After a few weeks, Saira received a letter from her husband. He had found a job in the city and was sending money home. Overjoyed, Saira went to the old lady to share the news. The old lady smiled and said, "You see, when we think positively, strive, and make dua to Allah, we invite good into our lives by Allah's permission. Problems will always come, but with a hopeful heart and reliance on Allah, we can overcome them." Soon, other villagers heard about the old lady's wise words. Many came to her and shared their struggles. She offered the same counsel. "Think good, do good, and ask Allah for good, and inshallah good will come." The villagers loved her even more because her words, rooted in gratitude and trust in Allah, changed their lives. She had taught them the power of positive thinking with tawakkul. If you like this story, give it a like and share it with others. See you again in a new story.